12:30 p.m. Let's start with roll call.
I can call it out if you like. Okay, we have Mr. Jose Zuniga, currently present.
No.
I'm sorry, absent. Juan Gonzalez,
Present.
Oscar Lopez,
Present.
Eva Montoya,
Present.
and Jorge Gonzalez.
Present.
Okay, we make quorum.
Okay, I wanted to check the minutes for March the 9th and May the 3rd board meeting for approval. I know you all had a chance to review it and see any changes.
I move that we approve the minutes.
Okay, we have a motion for by Juan Gonzalez. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eva Montoya. Motion passed.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, motion passed. Next item is citizen comments. We have here citizens are required to fill out a witness card no later than 12:15 p.m. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. No more than 3 persons will be allowed to speak on any side of an issue. Speakers may not pass their minutes to any other speaker. And comments should be relevant to city business and delivered in a professional manner. No derogatory remarks will be permitted. Do we have any citizens?
No
comments?
citizen comments.
Okay, so let's move on to the treasurer's report. This is a financial update on the Falcon Bank account deposit expenses.
Yes.
Motion to
Yeah,
approve.
motion.
It's the same, right?
Motion to approve, second.
Okay, the motion was with
Eva.
Eva Montoya and second by Jorge Gonzalez.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Next item is finance operation and status report by the Capstone Real Estate Services and city staff with discussion and possible action on Hamilton Apartments repairs, improvements, leases, operations, and management.
So the first things that you see on the package, unless you all wanna start with Sarah's report on the variance, or do you wanna start
No,
on
you can
some of the stuff? Okay. So, the first things that you see on the package are some of the items that were given to staff on the restaurant lease, the potential tenant of Kai Todd. He does break down some of the flooring labor items that he wants to renovate, the hood, the AC vents and outlets. So he's projecting a total budget of $26,000. That's as much breakdown that he gave us. He did provide us one quote for the range, the steel hood, I believe. And yeah, I believe that's it. Now, also, we did go out there, and I think it goes hand in hand. You do have some, a small report also with square footage and some pictures of the commercial areas, especially the restaurant. Just to let you know some of these items, and I'll let Marcela Cervantes give you a little bit more report, because it was one of her inspectors that went out there and looked at some of the items. Marcela, would you like to comment?
But before she starts,
sorry.
on the hood, so that's the email saying 15-1, and this quote here from Rigoberto Hernandez, is that the only quote we have?
Yes,
That's
correct.
the one you're saying?
That's the only one he presented.
But we asked him to get a couple more, right?
Correct.
Yes.
We requested.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, of course. Yes, so the Hamilton commercial units, we went ahead and took some pictures for the UPS Western Union.
Or bueno, start with what your inspector
Mentioned for the quotes.
mentioned on
Okay,
the
I'm
on the
sorry.
quotes first. Sorry.
Okay, in regards to the flooring with neighbors, she mentioned to me that she considers to be in good condition, that as you can see in some pictures, if you go to the next packages at the very end, you can see the condition of the flooring. She said for the exception of one missing tile that needs to be replaced, everything else looks good. As for the amount that he's providing to us for $8,300, She said that's a little too expensive, that she estimates approximately $5,000 based on the calculation on the size and the current market and the prices. In regards to the vent hood, with labor, she said that in order to provide more information, she needed to know the capacity and the brand and the type of vent that they're asking for, and she was requesting additional quotes to make it more fair and consistent.
So are you gonna send her this?
I gave it to, I showed it to her.
Sure.
She said that this one doesn't give her enough information on the vent hood. They're just saying a 10-inch stainless steel hood, but it doesn't, if it would give us the make and model, that would give her a little bit more of an idea.
Just have her reach out to this guy.
10 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not 10 inches, it's 10 feet.
Oh, sorry, 10 feet, sorry.
10 inches, that's a little small.
Sorry.
Yes, of course.
But yes, we definitely can, and we did y'all request more information from?
We did request additional information from the individuals that were interested, but unfortunately, they were not able to provide us. As I said, that they were in the moving process, so they hadn't been able to get us all the information that we requested.
Remind me what they wanted to do with the floor, because $8,000 for the floor.
Sorry to interrupt. Remember on this, on the kitchen, range, the other quote, they give it him verbally, 20,000.
20,000.
Then on the floor, they wanted a more modern concept,
Yeah.
wood type of floor planking, which is more expensive. It's not needed.
It's
We
not
didn't know the
needed.
It's
condition
not,
of the
it's
floor,
not,
but
it's
it's
not,
not needed.
they save $8,000.
Correct.
I mean, at least, as, you know, for now, that.
Because they don't even know if they're gonna make it, they're gonna make it, and,
They don't know if 6 months from now, it's like.
You're going all,
I mean,
I
And
say,
then she'll go
the
into
floor,
detail with.
this is the inside of the,
yeah, the floor
Yes,
is good.
correct.
And
Yeah,
the
look
paint's
at
in
that.
good condition.
The basin is
for
in
the
good
first year,
condition.
because you wanna see
Mhm.
if it's gonna work.
I think so. I agree with that flooring, I think it's the way it is. I think it's decent to at least.
I think maybe add some flooring to the kitchen, the kitchen type of flooring. It's just concrete there.
Yeah, correct.
In the kitchen.
Okay, and in regards to the AC vent and the outlets, well, she was saying that there was also missing information. For example, on the AC vent, she was saying that it was missing information such as if they're gonna require new duct work. As for the outlet, she said that it was missing the size and how many they're gonna need. I guess it'd be 110 or the 220.
So it's hard to estimate,
Correct.
hard to estimate if 2,800 is inaccurate, if they don't give us like, well,
How many plugs?
Yeah.
I'll give it to us.
So, but of course, we can send all those questions in writing.
Yes, we'll make sure we send that, we'll request that information from them.
Okay.
And she went ahead and also looked at the other units that are for rent. So for example, in the UPS Western Union, if you can see, there's a few pictures and also the square footage. So right now, this property is being rented at 1,300, and it coincides with the expired lease that Ms. Sara Perez provided to us in the last meeting. So it still remains at 1,300. We did receive several concerns from the current tenant. He's saying that there's missing ceiling tiles, that the property has not been painted, and there's several broken windows on the UPS Western Union. As for the next commercial unit, which is the provider services, they are renting 2. And the monthly rent that they're currently paying is $567 and $726.30. That's how much they're currently paying. As the lease that was provided by Ms. Perez, the one that is expired, they used to be charging them $550 for one unit and $650 for the other. And they also had several concerns such as missing ceiling tiles, the door handle and flooring needing repair, and they have water damage. They're very concerned about the water damage because they're saying that it's coming from the sewer, the water, and the AC. And that they had already brought it up to management several times.
Sarah, do we have money for the UPS to paint those wooden frames or whatever on the doors or
The
whatever?
exterior?
Yeah, they look horrible there. I'm just asking.
I can check into it.
No,
Yeah.
is that rotten wood?
It is.
It is.
I don't know if it's rotten wood or it's just
No, it
paint
is. It is.
falling off.
No, it's
it's
water
rotten,
wood.
it's rotten
It's
wood.
rotten
A
wood.
lot of the window frames also have that rotten wood.
We had asked a few years ago to do a capital improvement, cause I saw some notes, but I don't think Capstone ever brought us any plan or any,
Yes, we did.
analysis of the
Yes, we
windows.
did when Arturo was here and it was tabled several times as far as
So we
improvement
should look at it down
for
here.
windows and stuff, yes.
It looks horrible, looks horrible.
And for the Hamilton commercial unit for the restaurant, we requested information from Capstone in regards to the utility log to be able to do the comparison. They went ahead and provided us with a utility detailed log. The only thing that I saw is that the months are not the same, so I think it's not an accurate comparison. And I did request this information from Ms. Burke
Correct.
several
And
times.
Yeah, I did send it to get requested, and then you're right, it doesn't make sense, because if we're gonna do the April, May, June, July,
Yeah.
August, September for 2019, it should be the same for
Month.
2021.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And an example will be, for example, February, which is a 4 months. If you compare it with July, your February is 5,000, but then July 10,000. So it's not.
It's a big
accurate.
difference. Mhm.
Correct.
Okay.
They're not the same.
Yeah, so we'll wait maybe for
For the
your
next-
next meeting.
Okay.
We'll have a better comparison.
But we
if
need it
becomes
now,
around.
no, because they need to move in. We can't be waiting, postponing and postponing.
Well, why don't you get us that and then,
Yeah.
and send an
Don't you
email?
have it in your
Sure.
system, it's just to
Uh,
compare months,
I
we
don't,
do it at our office.
we
all the
have,
time.
we have a third party source who takes care of the utilities, so I requested this from them. Was able to send me, he sent me invoices and stuff, but, the months don't jive. So I did request that he send me the same months for 2021, because what we got was for 2019 and 2021 are off, they don't make sense. So, yeah, I need to get him to get me the same months for
When did it
2021.
Catan leave?
Catan left August 2019.
Yeah. And
So
it-
I had asked for 6 months, April to September of 2019. It should have been April 2021 through September 2021 for the comparison.
But if Sarah, if they left on August 19, would it be August
Yeah.
6 months backwards? Why is it counting September? They were not there anymore.
We need to know what was the expenses of the electricity during that use of the capataz. Catan, pardon, when the Catan was there. And like give us 6
And the
months while
gas,
they were there, right?
And the
then
water,
after.
Yeah, water, gas, and
Electrical-
electricity.
yes.
Water, gas, and
And we,
electricity.
yeah, and we need an average and a recommendation from Capstone letting us know what they think, what they recommend. Because based on this, what's not accurate.
Mhm.
Another thing that we noticed also, the electricity, one says it's one account and the other one says 3 accounts. Can you
No,
explain
it's
to
3
me?
accounts. It's 3 meters in the property, so we get billed for 3 meters.
So then they did an estimate doing 3 accounts and they did an estimate just using one, because that's the
No, they-
information provided.
Okay,
So that's another discrepancy on the report.
I saw the invoices
and
and
which
it
is the
said
meter
3.
that provides power to the.
The restaurant, why can't we just look at the meter that does the restaurant?
I don't know how they're,
We need to find
So
out.
where are the 3 meters?
I'm sorry?
Where do you have the 3 meters? Or what-
They're, to tell you the truth, I
In the
know that,
basement or what?
in the basement, yeah, it's the basement and it's an electrical room that we have in there, and it's,
I know, but the one meter could be the whole building here, and then the other meter could be this and this. If we knew which meter was for the restaurant,
okay.
And the number's there,
we
but the
could-
EIN
we could
number.
just
The EIN
use
number
that.
is- yeah, they
Use
do,
that to
but
look at
who,
it. I don't care about the rest
where
of the
they,
building.
where are they
Just-
like
branching.
branching out to? It's like,
We don't need
And there is the electrician who services, who services that for us. The
electrician,
electrician that does work for you.
we don't have an agreement with an electrician, in the past, if we've had to use one, we've used RPI.
Don't you think we need to hire somebody to go identify what meters are what, so they can have
Yeah, I mean,
a plan
We
of
should do that.
what works with what?
It's like having that at the house, you don't know where your breakers are, or what, I guess,
Maybe they are.
your
or
staff
they're
doesn't know
broken.
which meter feeds to what?
I don't think so.
No?
yeah.
No.
ask-
Yeah, I think you might need to ask, for that information. Yeah, we'll.
So going back to this Hamilton commercial unit, the one where the monthly rent is $560 and $726. The galletas are all mojadas, so there's a leak coming from probably
Right.
the ACs there.
Yeah,
Is
there-
that gonna
It
get-
has been,
Has it been fixed?
It has been, yes.
It has been fixed, we just
Yeah.
haven't replaced the,
For some
The
reason, I
galletas?
don't know, they hadn't reported the missing tiles, but the AC, yes, it was taken care of.
Sarah, for the inspector said that they had reported to you again and that they had not fixed it.
No, they hadn't.
And they said that it's still leaking.
That the AC still leaking?
Well, she said that it was the sewer, the water, the AC line.
The sewer wouldn't leak to the
And she
building.
said also, she mentioned that there was rat poop on their desk several times.
Oh.
And that they have brought it up to your attention several
No,
times.
that I did not
And
hear
that
of.
they mentioned that it's, that they were out of, what's it called when they don't have it in stock? That the cookies, the ceramic tiles were out
They're
of
back
stock.
ordered.
Back order. That was the reason that you were giving them for not replacing them.
No, because I hadn't talked to them. Maybe they talked to my maintenance guy, the one that left, and didn't report a lot of stuff, so yeah.
oh, can you
So
check
it's the
it?
ceiling tiles,
Yeah,
yes.
check the ceiling tiles and check if it's been fixed.
Because we
The
replace
current
those,
now, because this is not
we always
leaking.
have
Was
those
that-
in stock because we replace them quite often.
I know, but this photo was last week.
How often do you go and look at the properties?
I'm
Like,
sorry?
How often do you go into those properties to check?
I don't go into the commercial spaces unless, like, for example, we have an inspection coming up for the alarm panel and the fire pump and the sprinkler system. It's scheduled for tomorrow and Friday. That's the time that they go into all, even the commercial spaces, they go in there to check everything for the alarm system. So maintenance always walks with the alarm company to make sure, just to get a view of how everything is in there. And they don't go in there unless we get work orders. Unless they report work orders, then they go in and service it.
How much money do we set aside for this type of repairs?
I don't know what we have.
Do we have that?
I
What do
think
you
first we
prefer?
need to fix a leak, because we're gonna put the cookies and then they're gonna keep,
Oh, we need to
make
fix it
sure it's not
first.
leaking anymore.
But I mean, how much money do we have?
Do we have any money? I don't remember what the,
For
They were gonna
maintenance?
revise it.
For maintenance, no,
maintenance?
no.
She
No,
never-
no.
No,
For-
her item.
For maintenance, for example, for the month of March, we were budgeted $1,311 and we only spent $796. The ceiling tiles, we order in bulk, so they're not, we have some in stock, and then as we're running out, we order, so it shouldn't be that expensive to get them replaced.
no, but we just need to make sure it's
Yeah.
fixed first.
And
right?
sometimes they're left without the ceiling tile to make sure it doesn't leak anymore, whatever was leaking, the AC or a water line. What does leak, and it does happen frequent, is a domestic water line. Those we get pinholes and they leak constantly. Those are a problem there at the building, and we get them like all over the place. It can be on the 7th floor, leak all the way to the 3rd floor, and sometimes it's hard to detect because it could be weeks that they're leaking,
No, it's-
so
it's-
until
it's-
somebody reports it, that somebody noticed it, they go and they check it out, and it's been like a little tiny pinhole that's been leaking
That's fine, we're
for
almost
some
there.
time.
I'll keep you.
So
No, no,
those
keep
are a
it.
problem, those happen very often, especially if there's water pressure issues, like when they were working the downtown area, that water pressure would drop, it would come back up, it would cause a lot of leaks throughout the building. That you go to the building and there's a lot of patchwork that needs to get done also.
Well, we need to fix all of that before you raise the rents, no?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
How do you go to them and say, te voy a subir la renta? I would say.
Yeah, and at least just the current leases match what we're getting.
Yeah, I
That doesn't matter.
think one thing the leases have to match at least, because right now, we're charging rents with, just because on the fly.
So they're month to
There's no,
month.
yeah, but month to month, it doesn't even match their last lease. Like, there was an increase that's not reflected anywhere.
So are we charging 550 or
It's in the
567?
minutes.
So supposedly
The-
they're charging
the-
567
The
and they're
increase
charging
is in one of the minutes.
726, but the lease was never updated.
I know, but I remember we
Yeah.
talked about it.
Yeah, we
so-
talked about it, it was
so-
done, and,
So, but
then-
we need
But
to
they
change
never,
it.
they
We need to
never,
change it.
yeah, they never updated the lease, correct?
See, but it was approved at this level, but then we needed to execute
Yes.
at least, and
lease.
my understanding is that, Sonia or somebody had sent somebody an email that Capstone is not allowed to renew commercial leases, it has to be done through the owner's, real estate broker.
So what was said back then,
Mhm.
and what was the understanding is that y'all have a lease that y'all have been working with, right? So if you needed the board to sign it,
Mhm.
there was a motion to get approved, but that lease was never brought back to the board. So if what you're trying to, I guess, explain is that you needed someone to sign it, well, you never brought it back to get signed.
Okay.
That's the issue.
Okay.
So what we're trying to say is, regardless, it was approved and the lease was never revised. So if you needed the board to, and I mean, we had it, we've done it before, we pass motions and then we take the item to the president signs it. Nothing was ever presented back for
Oh, okay,
signature.
okay.
So you need to make sure that we have something to reflect at least the 567, the 726, whatever your current rate is right now.
So do we get those leases and sign those and then worry about raising rates después? Because you don't have the leases.
I mean, we don't even have a
Well,
lease that
this-
reflects those amounts, yeah.
I think you should get
Yeah.
those leases at
Yeah.
least, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, because those leases have already been motioned, so they just haven't been signed. So what we're asking Capstone is bring us those documents, those revised documents, and let's get them
But
executed.
is she saying that
But
she
she's saying
can't,
that
she's saying that they don't
can't.
do it, that it has to be our real estate, who's gonna do the leases?
No, she's been, Capstone is a real estate company that has been doing them for 20-something years.
So
No,
will-
ma'am.
Okay,
Previously, the leases were done by, Mr. Skeen, he had a
Bill
broker
Skeen.
that would do them.
so we don't pay for your services of the commercial spaces?
My understanding, I know, that's another question that could be emailed to management, you can
I
email
think
Sonia
we
about it.
definitely need to have a talk with, and I think on your next meeting, I think you should invite your regional and not your district or regional, because apparently there's a lot of things that you can't answer
You
and
can't
don't
answer,
get
yeah.
answered.
I
And they get pushed.
suggested when you start emailing me, just copy me, email Sonia, and
Okay.
that gets to management.
Do it that way.
Mhm. Yeah, cause I'm just the middle person, it's
Yeah.
just like, I
We
don't
always
have access
include,
to a
and we
lot of
always
stuff.
include Sonia and Sarah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, definitely, there has been a lot of miscommunication, again, things don't get brought back when they're supposed to. Remember, at one point, we're just the staff liaisons, we are not now we're gonna start helping with the administration and management, because apparently there is a lot of things that have not, that have fallen through the cracks.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any other items that you wanna discuss?
No.
As far as your reports?
No, ma'am.
And Pepe's not here because he thought the email said next week, next
Ah.
Wednesday. Can you check your email and see what he got? Because he said, I show it next Wednesday.
And then Sarah, we're also pending the variance report, the one that needed to be corrected.
Yeah, I emailed somebody for that, and then for April, the books are not finalized yet, so I couldn't work on that one.
So yeah, so she wasn't able to provide the information the board requested, the revised.
To answer your question, Mr. Gonzalez, it says for today.
Entonces Pepe needs glasses.
Maybe he.
Se grabó. Se grabó.
That's fine. That's why he's not here.
No.
Sorry.
Okay, so where are we? Because we kind of like went all over the place, and we're still, where?
I think
Because we did item
We
six.
really need to push the estimate for the restaurant,
Yes.
because these people are interested and they can't wait another month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna cool off and. so-
Well, I mean, you all did, I don't know if did you all motion on
And why don't we
on an
motion that
offer?
the
Just-
city look for the building or community development?
Sorry to interrupt. We were waiting on the prospective tenants to provide us their budget. That's what you have requested.
They were gonna bring
And
us
that
the
they proposed repairs so we can,
I mean, y'all can motion for us to negotiate this this lease if y'all like, and y'all can give us what
What we wanted.
what you want as a lease, and we can try to handle the rest, and we can bring you an update on the next time around. Or if you want to have full control of them coming back and y'all making the final decision, y'all can do that too. It's just
I think we need to move on it to get estimates, because, when's our next meeting? I think by then they'll move out somewhere else.
I mean, I think the floors.
It's fine.
It's fine the way they are.
I think we need to refurnish that kitchen, the
Yes.
kitchen.
Now, that's
Is
the
it
other thing.
for them or somebody else?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, y'all can, if y'all feel that maybe his estimates are too high, or we don't have enough information on the range hood, we can, you know, pursue finding the appropriate range hood. We get it ready, and if it's not for that tenant, it's gonna be for another tenant, because regardless, to rent it as a restaurant, you know,
It's
the
always gonna be
points
the
were
problem.
made that that's not up to code right now. So we could verify, you know, we could get quotes and see on our side how much it would cost us. So if they're not providing us that, we can get our cost estimate, bring that restaurant up to par, right? And then we set our rates. Now, if they want luxury items, if they have.
They pay for them.
Yeah, if they have, you know, the paint is good. If they have cosmetic needs that they wanna change the color of the paint, y'all don't have to give a credit to that, you know, like any other landlord tenant
They do.
agreement, you
go
can
in and
decide
cut your own.
to color. I would recommend that you all, or someone gets approval for the color scheme, because we might not want a color scheme and then they leave in a few months and they left us, you know, a color scheme that's hard to change. On the historical side, I don't think the inside, there are some items in the inside that they probably can't do. But the color scheme, I think the inside would be okay, and we can still check, because remember, we are a nationally historic, registered building. So we can do that on our side and verify with the state to see if there's any other concerns. I mean, obviously, the floor is not original, so the floor wouldn't be a concern, but that's a luxury item that if they wanna change, I don't think the board would have to pay for that.
Can you get an estimate on the hood, see how much it's gonna fix, and let's fix it. And
Then we can
and
use
don't
these
give them the
specs right
credit
here,
for-
because
Yeah.
practically these are the specs they needed, no?
Don't give them a credit, because if we went from 1,800 to 3,200, that $1,400 a month times 12, I mean, that's what they would have spent on the hood, and we're gonna spend it, so.
Yeah.
That way you can justify charging
So,
the higher rate. No?
well, yeah, they're gonna have to. What I'll do is we'll get the estimates, and for our next meetings, once we have the estimates, and I know, Sarah and Sonia will be able to give us a better idea of their variance and see how much money is actually there for repairs. I think that's gonna be crucial. We need to know, we really need to see that budget and how much are the true numbers of what's actually there, and available. And I think that way we'll be able to make a decision, but obviously, if we wanna keep that area as a restaurant, we do need to make those improvements.
We need to fix it.
Yeah, and of course, Sarah will have to look at the other two commercial properties and see what the concerns on the repairs are there. Can you all handle that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
Concerns for the repairs, the western?
Yes.
And the
and,
other-
Uh-huh. And even like the outside, the doors and stuff.
But go visit with them, Sarah, and, you know, listen to their concerns and bring it, you know, put it in paper and bring it to the board so that we know the condition of those. 'Cause, you know, we need to maintain those properties.
And what I'll do is I'll share the last lease agreements that had been provided a few months ago. I'll share with our legal team, and Humberto can help us determine if there's any other provisions that we wanna add to it. And I mean, if we're gonna be overseeing those, we'll start overseeing them now, since Capstone doesn't have the capacity to do it.
I did notice that the restaurant is close to 2,000 square feet, the whole thing, and they were saying like 1,500.
And the whole space.
The whole space is like 19.
Yeah,
What's the good size?
1,855. 1,850.
No, it's 1,955. When you add
When you add everything, the kitchen area?
the kitchen area and the storage, there we go.
So we're still not ready to decide on what we're gonna charge in rent, right? We still need numbers.
But if we do the hood and we fix it, entonces yeah, you're not gonna give them credit for that or for the flooring.
You can
And then
probably
you're
give
gonna-
them a little bit of credit to go in there and then
Yeah.
go up in rent.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, remember the last,
a starter help out.
what was the last rent that you charged to El Catan? It wasn't 1,300, you ended up charging them 1,800.
1875.
1875 was the last rent that you all charged in that unit. So I would say that that's at least your base, your base. And then let's see when we see the utility log, see how much, cause remember,
We need
back
that,
then.
we need that piece to.
Back then, the 1,800 was a big concern because we weren't making not even the light bill.
Yes.
You know, por eso we need the light bill, whatever,
Yeah.
and the gas to see
Yes.
how much more we could raise that.
Correct.
And us fix the vent.
Mhm.
So going back to the dates that we're gonna need history, because I think there's a confusion on what month and what
Okay.
year. So to clarify, we're gonna be getting.
We're doing March 2019 through August 2019, and then March 2021 or 2020. Which one do you want?
Pues 2020 is cuando
2021.
estaba COVID, so I don't know how
21.
those numbers are gonna
I
look.
send them the
21.
information exactly how we need it to Sarah, so Sarah knows exactly if I want to which month.
So-
I did her 2 charts just to fill in the information and give us the average.
Okay.
Okay.
When
Yes,
did you
and
send that?
You don't keep invoices?
I don't keep you. I don't get the invoices at.
I forwarded to her, but then she forwards them to corporate.
Oh no, actually they
So you
already.
have it in your email?
The light
No,
one?
actually they go to the third-party vendor that takes care of the invoices. What you send me is just like a, okay, yes, it's
It's been
being
paid,
processed, yeah. Mhm.
but that's an invoice, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it says-
it's an invoice.
So
Yeah.
you have the bill?
But she
So you
doesn't
just
keep
forward
up.
I don't keep
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, she
So,
don't care.
so just follow up with
Yeah.
what Ms. Cervantes emailed
Sí.
you regarding the dates and the
Yes,
amounts.
I got it.
And present that, because that was what we were supposed to review today, so we will be able to have a better understanding of what we were gonna charge.
Can you try to get that like within a week, just so that we can decide on the price? 'Cause
And
that's the only thing that's gonna
Or
hold us back.
sooner.
Can you preview what Ms. Cervantes before you send it to us?
By Monday? if you can.
Sure.
And also follow up with them, Sarah, so they give you the information, so if you see that they're not answering your emails, give them a courtesy call and ask them, because we do need the information.
We do, because then what Mr. Gonzalez is saying, that we might just lose this possible tenant, and we need to.
And just get the clarification also for the electrical, is it the 3 meters or the 1 meter average, so we can have consistent information?
Yeah, no, it's the
Get
three.
clarification on that.
I wasn't sure that.
So they're doing an average on the 3 or they're doing the average on the 1?
Okay.
And then I say that the floor, we don't touch the floor.
Maybe,
I mean, at least for the
We're
first
just
12
starting.
months,
We're just starting.
assuming that they aren't there that long.
Like all the units that they rent out, they just give you a small allowance for you to fix it, but when they're not even finished, they're just studs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of
Finish
the
up.
tenants put all the money to
Yeah,
fix
It's
it.
like if they were to go in and lease a skeleton unit,
Yes.
they're gonna
They do the
pretty
finish
much.
up.
they have
You're
to do
gonna
the
put
finish
most
up.
of the money, the new
Finish up,
tenants.
yeah.
That's what they normally do, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
¿Qué más,
so-
Oscar?
Do we need a motion here, or is
No, I don't think you need a motion. I mean, if you want a motion, just, the items that were mentioned, for us to address them the way they were mentioned. Or do you want a formal motion for each item?
For all
No,
of
just
them together.
Yeah.
put them all together,
Yeah.
look at the vans and look at
The motion for the van?
the vents, what the utilities are, so that we can look at the rents and then to fix the other stuff on the other units
Yes.
that we need to fix.
Get the
See how
lease-
much money we have in the budget
To
and what
get the
we're
lease
doing.
agreement.
And the
Yeah.
lease agreement, yes.
And the revised variance report.
And do that, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. All that in a motion.
Yeah.
Second?
I second.
All in
All in
favor? Okay.
any new business?
No new business in now. But no new business?
Okay, then I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
So in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.